Zara stood tall in the middle of the cold council chamber. Her purple eyes showed no fear, but deep inside, her heart pounded like a war drum. Beside her, Nyx, her younger sister by a few cycles, clenched her fists. The room was silent, except for the voice of the High Chancellor. "You disobeyed orders during the Battle of Zenther," he said, his voice like ice. "You saved civilians when you were ordered to retreat. For that, you are now sentenced to exile." Zara did not flinch. "I did what was right," she said, her voice firm. Nyx added, "We saved lives. Isn't that what a warrior is supposed to do?" But the council had already made its decision. They did not care about feelings or morals, only power and order. "Your punishment begins now," the Chancellor said. "You will be sent to a primitive planet Earth. You are forbidden to contact our people. You must survive one full cycle. Alone. If you fail, you will never return." Before they could speak again, a blinding light wrapped around them. Their bodies turned weightless. The next moment, everything went dark. When Zara opened her eyes, she was lying on soft green grass. A blue sky stretched above her. She sat up quickly. Nyx was nearby, groaning and rubbing her head. "Are we on Earth?" Nyx asked, blinking at the sunlight. Zara looked around. Tall trees surrounded them. Birds chirped in the distance. The place felt peaceful, too peaceful. "Yes," she said slowly. "This is Earth. This is where they sent us." Both girls stood up and checked their gear. Most of their advanced tech was gone. The council had stripped them of weapons, tools, and communication devices. All they had left were their survival suits and a small tracker to mark the passing time. "They really want us to suffer," Nyx muttered. Zara nodded. "But we won't give them that pleasure. We'll survive this." They walked for hours through forests and hills until they reached a road. Strange machines' cars passed by at high speed. The humans inside barely noticed them. Double quotes, primitive. But efficient, Zara noted. Soon, they reached a small town. It was quiet and clean, with buildings made of brick and glass. Children played. In parks, old people walked dogs. No one screamed or ran in fear. "They don't know who we are," Nyx said softly. "Maybe. That's good," Zara agreed. "We need to blend in. We'll use false names, create human records, and enroll in their school systems. That way we can study them and survive unnoticed." "But why a school?" Nyx frowned. Zara smiled slightly. "Because that's where humans learn, and that's where they trust easily. If we must learn to live like them, we start there." Bye. The next week, the two sisters had new names, Z and Nina. They were introduced as exchange students from a distant part of the world. A kind but clueless host family accepted them without question. At their first day of school, everything felt strange. The human students stared at them, confused by their sharp features and glowing eyes, but no one asked too many questions. After all, Earth was full of odd people. Zara sat quietly in the back of every class, learning human behavior. She found their technology slow, their history full of war, and their emotions loud. But she also saw something else: kindness, laughter, and curiosity. Nyx, on the other hand, began talking to other students. She was the more playful of the two. She laughed at jokes she didn't fully understand and joined in strange Earth games. At lunch, one boy even gave her a candy bar. She stared at it like it was a weapon. "Eat it," he laughed. "It's chocolate." She did, and her eyes widened. "That is delicious," she whispered. That night, the sisters sat on the roof of their host home, looking up at the stars. "Do you miss home?" Nyx asked. Zara didn't answer at first. Then she said, "I miss who we were." Nyx nodded. "Do you think they'll let us return?" Zara shook her head. "No, and maybe that's not the worst thing." They sat in silence. Suddenly, a human voice called out from below. "Hey, you're the new girls, right?" Zara looked down to see a teenage boy standing in the yard. He wore a hoodie, carried a notebook, and had a bright, curious smile. "I'm Leo," he said. "Just thought I'd say hi." Zara narrowed her eyes. "We don't talk to strangers." But Nix smiled and waved. "Hi, Leo. I'm Nina." Leo chuckled. "Cool. Maybe I'll see you at school." As he walked away, Nix whispered, "He seems different." Zara's jaw tightened. Stay away from him. But deep down she knew Earth was already starting to change them, and that was just the beginning of their exile. The bell rang, echoing through the school like a warning. Human teenagers rushed through the hallways, talking, laughing, bumping into each other without apology. In the middle of the chaos, Zara walked like a ghost, silent, sharp-eyed, observing every move. Nix followed close behind, trying her best to smile when someone made eye contact. They had been on Earth for only a week, but already they saw what their punishment truly was. It wasn't the loss of weapons or rank, it was the loneliness. They were surrounded by beings who didn't know what they were, and couldn't ever understand. Another day of slow minds and loud mouths. Zara muttered as they entered their science class. "Be nice," Nix said, sliding into the seat beside her. "Some of them are kind. That boy yesterday, Leo, he tried to talk to us." Zara rolled her eyes. "Humans are curious, that's all." Just then, the door opened and there he was. Leo. He walked in holding a small project in his arms. Something built from wires, plastic, and blinking lights. The other students ignored him. Some even smirked. But he didn't seem to care. He noticed the sisters and gave a small wave. Nix waved back. Zara looked away. Later that day, the science teacher paired students randomly for a class experiment. Of course, fate or luck placed Leo with Zara. "I can switch if you want," he offered quietly, noticing the cold look in her eyes. Zara didn't reply. She sat down across from him and grabbed the instruction sheet. "Let's finish this fast." Leo simply smiled. "All right. Just don't vaporize me with your laser eyes." Zara blinked. "Why would you think I have laser eyes?" Leo laughed. "Just a joke. You always look like you're ready to blow something up." "I don't understand humor," she said flatly. He grinned. "Then I'll just have to teach you." The experiment was simple, mixing two harmless chemicals to observe a reaction. Zara finished it in seconds. Leo raised an eyebrow. "You read that fast." "I learn fast," she replied, adjusting the beaker. He leaned in. "You're not like the others." Her hands froze. Zara stared at him. "What do you mean?" Leo shrugged. "Most people try to fit in. You don't. You and your sister, you both walk like soldiers." Zara's heart skipped. "You watch us?" "I notice things," he said calmly. "And I think you're not from around here. Not just the country, like, not from Earth." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Zara could hear her own breathing. Her instinct screamed, "Eliminate the threat. Deny everything. Break the link." But she didn't. Instead, she asked, "And if we weren't from Earth, what would you do?" Leo smiled, not afraid. Not even nervous. "I think I'd be excited," he said. "Aliens? That would be the coolest thing ever." Zara blinked again. She didn't understand. Most beings feared the unknown. But this human? He welcomed it. After class, Nix rushed to her sister. "Did he say anything strange?" she asked. Zar stared at the hallway where Leo had just walked out. "Yes," she said. "He thinks we're aliens." And YX gasped. What do we do?" "Nothing," Zara replied. "He's harmless." But she wasn't sure she believed it. Leo was curious, and curiosity was dangerous. Still, something about his smile, calm, open, real, kept replaying in her mind. That night, the sisters returned to their host family's home. It was quiet and warm, filled with human smells, food, soap, and the faint scent of animals. Zara climbed to the attic where they kept their hidden scanner. The council had not contacted them. That was good. It meant no one had reported them yet. Nyx entered, carrying 2 slices of pizza. "Try this," she said. "Humans love it." Zara sniffed it. "It smells like cooked rubber." "Just taste it," Nyx insisted. She did. Her eyes widened. "It's not terrible," Nyx grinned. "That's Earth's magic. Even their punishments come with cheese." Zara allowed herself a small smile. Suddenly, their communicator beeped. "A warning," they froze. "Scan detected nearby," Zara whispered. "It's alien tech, small, weak, but close." Nyx frowned. "You think he has it?" Zara didn't answer. But her eyes narrowed. "Tomorrow," she said, "we follow him." The next day, they watched Leo from a distance. He sat by himself during lunch, drawing strange symbols into a notebook. Nyx peeked over his shoulder. "They're star maps," she whispered. "But he doesn't know what they mean." Zara's voice was tense. "Why is a human drawing those?" Then Leo turned around. "You girls following me?" Zara stepped forward. "Where did you learn these?" Leo looked confused. "Nowhere, I just dream them. They come to me." Nyx exchanged a glance with Zara. This wasn't just curiosity anymore. Something strange was happening. And Leo wasn't just any human. He was the reason their exile had just become far more complicated. It started with a dream. Zara stood at the edge of a burning battlefield, not on Earth, but on her home planet. Her hands dripped with energy from an unseen war, and the stars above her twisted and screamed. In the center of the chaos, Leo stood. But he wasn't afraid. He just stared at her, holding something in his hand, a piece of her past. She woke up with a sharp breath, sweat dripping from her temples. Nyx was already awake, sitting by the window, staring at the stars. "You had the dream too, didn't you?" Nyx whispered. Zara slowly nodded. "Yes, and he was in it again. That morning something changed." Leo didn't sit alone. He was surrounded by students, laughing, sharing his sketches of alien machines. None of them knew what the symbols meant. But Zara and Nyx did. They were real. Zara waited until lunch break. She followed Leo out of the building, past the sports field, into the trees behind the school. He stopped suddenly, as if he knew she was behind him. "I figured you'd come," Leo said without turning. Zara stepped forward. "You're not like the others." Leo finally turned around. "Neither are you." They stared at each other. Silence. Then Zara pulled a small device from her jacket. A hidden scanner, no bigger than a pen. She pointed it at him. A soft beep. Alien energy traces embedded inside him. Leo blinked. "Was that a scanner?" Zara frowned. "You've been in contact with something off-world." Leo sighed and sat down on a fallen log. "I think I've always known I was different. My dream started when I was 5. I would draw places I've never seen. Hear languages I've never spoken. Machines that don't exist here but feel real." Zara sat across from him, scanning the air again. "You're either marked ... or chosen." Leo chuckled nervously. "Is that good?" She looked at him seriously. "It's dangerous." Back at the house, Nyx wasn't happy. "You told him?" she hissed. "Zara, we can't trust him yet." "I didn't tell him everything," Zara replied. "But he already knows too much. Denying it now would only draw attention." Nyx paced the room. "The council will kill us if they find out. You know that." Zara stood up. "And if we don't do something, whatever's inside Leo could wake up and destroy this entire town." Nyx froze. "You think he's a weapon?" "I think," Zara said slowly, "he might be the reason we were sent here." The next day, Leo was waiting for them in the school library. He had cleared a table and laid out his strange drawings. "I didn't tell anyone," he said quickly. "But I want answers." Zara studied the sketches. One showed the seal of the Galactic Council. Another showed a map of her home world. These were things no human should know. Nix finally sat down. "All right, Leo, you want the truth?" He nodded. "We're not from Earth," Nix said softly. "We're from a planet called Alarian. We were soldiers. We were exiled here as punishment." Leo didn't laugh. He didn't run. He just said, "Okay, that makes sense now." Zara narrowed her eyes. "You believe us?" Leo shrugged. "I believed it the moment I saw how fast you solved that gravity equation last week. Humans can't do that." Zara almost smiled. Almost. That evening, the three of them met in an abandoned shed outside town. Zara activated her last working device, an alien Hall emitter. It lit the space with glowing blue light. Leo's eyes widened. "That's beautiful." The hologram showed Earth's orbit. But something new had appeared. A faint red mark, an unknown ship entering the atmosphere. Zara's voice turned cold. "We're not alone anymore." Nix added, "The council might be watching." Leo looked at both of them. "Then we don't have much time." He pulled a strange chip from his pocket, the same one from Zara's dream. "This was in my dad's things. He said it came from the stars." Zara scanned it. The device beeped faster than before. "It's council tech," she whispered. "Leo, your family's been touched by them before." Outside the shed, in the shadows of the trees, a small drone hovered silently. It blinked once, then vanished into the sky far above Earth. Something had taken notice, and the secret wasn't a secret anymore. The night air was still. The stars looked peaceful above the sleepy town, but in the shadows, something had shifted. Something ancient. Something watching. Zara's communicator buzzed for the first time in weeks. A coded red pulse blinked across the screen. It wasn't a message, it was a warning. She stared at the tiny, alien glyph that glowed with one meaning only. "You are being observed." Inside their room, Nix sat cross-legged on the floor, trying to rewire a broken scanner. She looked up as Zara entered, pale and silent. "What happened?" Nix asked quickly. Zara tossed the device on the bed. "We've been marked." "They found us." Nix dropped her tools. "The council?" Zara nodded. "Or one of their agents. A watcher." "Maybe." "Both." Nix's voice cracked. "Do they know about Leo?" Zara hesitated. That 1 second of silence was enough for Nix to panic. "You told him too much," Nix snapped. "We were supposed to survive quietly, not bring attention. I didn't plan this." Zara snapped back. "But he's involved whether we like it or not. That chip he found, it's council tech. He's not just a human, he's connected to something bigger." The next morning at school, everything felt different. Leo looked up from his notebook when they entered. "Something's wrong," he said. "I had another dream last night." Zara sat beside him. "Tell me everything." Leo leaned in, voice low. "There was a shadow over the earth. It wasn't a ship, it was like a presence. I couldn't move. And then I heard a voice say, 'You've been touched by the stars.'" "That makes you dangerous," Nix whispered. "That sounds like the judgment code. It's what the council says before they ... erase someone." Leo's face turned pale. "Erase ... like kill." Zara nodded, "Or worse, disappear you from all records. As if you never existed." Back at their safe house, Zara dug out the last remaining piece of their tech, a cloaked transmitter. She activated it with shaking fingers. The signal was weak, but enough to access an old protocol. A single screen lit up with static. And then, a voice. "Watcher Unit 94 reporting. Target ZH-7 and NY3 active. Monitoring breach. Detected. Earth Asset L009 in violation. Judgment pending." Zara's heart dropped. They knew Leo's Earth designation was already in their files. And judgment pending meant he only had days, maybe less. "They're not just watching," she said. "They're preparing to strike." Nyx grabbed the transmitter and flung it against the wall. "They sent us here to fail," she shouted. "They knew we'd meet someone. They knew we'd break rules." Zara closed her eyes. "Then maybe ... it was an exile." Nyx looked confused. "What do you mean? What if this was never about punishment?" Zara asked. "What if Earth was the test? To see if loyalty to the Council could survive truth, kindness, and love?" Nyx froze. "Then we've already failed." That night, they met Leo at the edge of town. "No more hiding. We have to leave," Zara said. Leo looked at her, confused. "Where would we go?" "To the old quarry," Nyx answered. "It's far from signal towers. We can build a blocker there." "Maybe ... delay the Council." Leo didn't argue. He followed. By midnight, they reached the rocky cliffs where Earth's machines had long stopped digging. The stars looked clearer. From there, almost too close, together they built a pulse disruptor. It was crude, but it might confuse incoming Council tech for a few hours. Maybe a day. Zara adjusted the wires. "This is the last thing we can do without help." Leo looked at her seriously. "Tell me the truth. All of it. Now." Zara finally spoke what she had buried. "If the Council believes you've bonded with us, they will treat you like one of us. That means exile. Or execution." Leo took a deep breath. "Then let them try. I don't care if you're aliens. You're more human than most people I know." Nyx blinked. "You're not afraid?" Leo smiled. "I am, but not of you. I'm afraid they'll take you away." The pulse disruptor blinked green. For now. It was working, but above them, far in orbit, a black needle-shaped vessel broke through the clouds. No lights. No sound. Just judgment. Inside the ship, a watcher prepared its landing. Zara, Nyx, and Leo had no idea. The Council had already arrived. The sky was clear above the quarry, but Zara felt the weight of the stars pressing down on her like judgment. Her gaze kept drifting upward, searching for movement, anything that might signal a Council craft descending silently through the dark. The pulse disruptor continued blinking green, its hum low but steady. It was buying them time, but not much. Leo sat a few feet away on a rock ledge, sketching again. Not spaceships this time, or alien symbols, just them. Zara, standing like a guard. Nyx, laughing with wild energy. And himself, caught somewhere. Between their world and his dot, he looked up and saw Zara watching him. "You always stare like you're calculating something," he said with a soft grin. "What are you thinking?" Zara folded her arms. "That staying here is reckless." Leo shrugged. "I've been reckless since the day I talked to you." She walked over slowly, standing beside him. "You don't understand what you're risking." "I do," he said calmly. "But I'd rather face danger with you than be safe without you." Zara didn't reply right away. Her eyes met his, and for the first time she didn't look away. Down below, Nyx had built a small fire. She sat near it, hugging her knees and watching the flames flicker. "I miss home," she whispered when Leo and Zara joined her. "We can't go back," Zara said flatly. "I know," Nyx replied. "But I still miss it." Leo picked up a stick and drew lines in the dirt. "You don't have to go back to be home. Maybe home can change." Zara sat down, silent. Nyx tilted her head. "That's such a human thing to say." "Is that a bad thing?" Leo asked. Nyx smiled. "No, it's the best thing you've ever said." The firelight danced in Zara's eyes. Her heart was steady, but her mind wasn't. She had spent her life obeying commands, following logic, never trusting emotion. But here, sitting next to Leo under the stars, nothing made sense anymore. He turned to her gently. "Can I ask something?" She nodded once. "Do you ever feel like maybe your punishment was really a gift?" Zara frowned. "You think exile is a gift?" Leo leaned closer. "Maybe not at first. But what if it brought you something better than the life you had before? Zara's eyes dropped to the dirt. Her voice was low. I was a warrior, respected, feared, but not loved. That word didn't exist in my world. Leo's voice was soft. It does here. The fire crackled between them. For a long time none of them spoke. Then Nick stood up suddenly. I'm going for a walk. You two need to talk. Zara glanced at her sharply. Where will you go? Nick smirked. Not far, but far enough. She vanished into the shadows, her laughter echoing faintly behind her. Now it was just Zara and Leo, alone. Zara looked into the flames. When I first met you, I thought you were a threat. Leo smiled. I still might be. She shook her head. You were curious, annoyingly brave, always asking questions. He leaned closer. And now? Zara's voice dropped to a whisper. Now I don't want to lose you. Leo reached out slowly. His fingers brushed hers, light as air. She didn't pull away. Then without words, without fear, he leaned in. Their lips met gently, unsure at first. Zara froze. Her heart skipped. Then something melted inside her, something she didn't know was there. She kissed him back. It wasn't passion, it was peace. It was discovery. It was the silence between stars finally broken. When they parted, Leo laughed nervously. So, was that a crime on your planet? Zara smiled. Actually smiled. If it is, I'm guilty now. From a distance, Nyx watched them quietly. Her eyes were soft, but her expression was serious. She activated her communicator and scanned the sky. The signal was back. We've got company, she whispered. Romance later. War now. At the edge of the atmosphere, the council ship had locked coordinates on the quarry. Inside the vessel, the Watcher studied 3 glowing life forms. 2 were registered criminals. The third was something new, unclear classification. The ship's system said, human male, foreign imprint detected. The Watcher's hand hovered above a single button, prepare judgment strike. Back on Earth, Zara leaned her head against Leo's shoulder. For the first time in her life, she felt still, safe. Not because the danger was gone, but because someone had chosen to face it with her. Then, Nyx's voice broke the moment. We've got movement. Zara stood up instantly. Where? Nyx pointed to the sky, above us. No lights, no sound. Just death. Leo grabbed the pulse disruptor. Is it working? Zara activated her scanner. The red light flashed wildly. No, she said. They're already here. The first sign wasn't a sound. It was silence. All the birds had stopped singing. The wind had stopped blowing. Even the fire Nyx built earlier flickered unnaturally, as if it too felt something approaching. Zara's scanner was blinking red, now bright, urgent, angry. The signal wasn't just nearby. It was directly above them. Nyx stared up into the night sky, her eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. They're descending, she whispered. Low orbit, no lights. They're cloaked. Leo looked up too, but saw nothing, just stars. Beautiful, quiet stars. How close? He asked. Zara's jaw clenched. Too close. She turned to Leo. You need to leave, now. No, he said. I'm not running. Not this time. You don't understand, she hissed. They've come to erase you. You're the reason they're breaking protocol and entering Earth's skies. You're the proof we failed. Leo stepped forward. Then let me make the choice. If I run, they win. If I stay, maybe you'll have a chance. Nyx held up her hand. Wait, something's wrong. A soft vibration trembled beneath their feet. Then above the cliffs the sky cracked. Not with lightning, but light. A beam shot downward, not wide enough to be seen by humans, only beings attuned to council tech. Zara stared in horror. That's a marking beacon. They're tagging us for strike. Nyx's voice shook. We have minutes. Inside the cloaked vessel in orbit, The Watcher stood before a glowing console. A display showed the quarry, now marked with red outlines. 3 heat signatures blinked. 2 were classified as defectors. 1 Leo was unclassified but infected with alien data. The Watcher spoke a single word: prepare judgment. A countdown began. Back on Earth, Zara's fingers flew across her scanner. If I can intercept the beacon code, I can delay the strike. How long? Leo asked. 30 seconds, maybe less. Nick stood by Leo, guarding him. We should have never dragged you into this, she said quietly. Leo shook his head. No, I found you. If this is my fault, then let me be part of the solution. Zara's screen blinked. I can reroute the beacon. Change its target signature. Make it seem like we've moved. Leo nodded. Then do it. Zara froze. To redirect it, someone has to carry a false signal away from here. A living signature. A decoy. Leo understood before she finished. Send it with me. Nix's eyes widened. No. Zara shouted. Absolutely not. That strike will destroy whatever it hits. Leo stepped forward, calm. You said it yourself, this ends with me, so let me finish it. Silence. Then Zara slowly removed her beacon tag, glowing faint red. She handed it to Leo. This will tell the Watcher that you are us, she said. Leo took it, his hand steady. What do I do? Run, Nick said quietly. Far. Toward the ridge. The ship will lock on and follow. We'll jam the signal once it's far enough. Leo gave her a sad smile. You always say things like it's simple. Nix grinned. It's how I cope. Zara stepped toward Leo. Her voice was low. You don't have to do this. Leo looked into her eyes. I know, but I want to. For you, for Nix, for what this meant. She hesitated. Then leaned in, pressing her forehead gently against his. Thank you, human, she whispered. May the stars walk beside you. Leo turned and ran. Every second felt like a scream. The moment he crossed the ridge, the sky above flared again. A beam of white light followed him. Then Zara hit the switch. The jamming pulse exploded upward, like a wave of distortion, blinding every scanner within range. The Watcher's ship shook as the target lock failed. The judgment strike was paused mid-execution. The system REBOOTD. Inside the ship. Red warnings flashed. Target lost. Judgment incomplete. Tracking disabled. The Watcher stood still, silent. Then, without a word, the ship disappeared. Cloaked, gone. Down below, Zara dropped to her knees. We did it. Nix was already sprinting over the ridge. Leo! Zara followed, heart pounding. They found him lying on the rocks, bruised but alive. The beacon was burned out in his hand. He looked up at them with a smile. Still here. Zara fell beside him. You fool! Nix slapped his arm. You brave, stupid human. Leo winced. Glad I could help. The stars above were still watching. But the danger had passed for now. The Council would not try again so soon. The Watcher had failed. And failure, even for them, came at a cost. Zara looked at Leo. Then at Nix. She had made her choice. No more running. If the Council came again, they wouldn't hide. They'd fight, together. A new sun rose over the quiet hills of Earth, spilling soft light across the broken quarry. The grass was still wet with dew, and the rocks that once trembled under Council tech now stood peacefully. No ships in the sky. No shadows hunting in orbit. Only stillness. For the first time in weeks, Zara could breathe without her heart in battle mode. She stood at the edge of the ridge, watching Leo sleep, curled in Nix's emergency cloak. His face was calm now, no tension between his eyebrows, no questions in his eyes, just rest. Nix walked up behind her, her arms crossed. He saved all of us, she said quietly. Zara nodded. He gave us more than just time. He gave us a reason. 3 days passed. The Watcher never returned. The council made no new moves. The girl's scanner showed no activity in Earth's orbit. For now it seemed that judgment had passed. Still, they didn't lower their guard. Nyx began building better jammers, stronger, more hidden, woven into streetlights, trees, and cell towers. She called it her anti-alien tripwire. Leo called it brilliant. Zara spent her time walking the town at night, learning the streets like a soldier scouting a new battlefield. But deep down, she wasn't patrolling for enemies. She was studying what peace felt like. It was new. It was strange. But it was real. At school, things had changed too. Leo had quietly told people that the girls were relatives from a far country, gifted and strange, but kind. Their popularity grew without effort. Nyx made friends easily, laughing and playing as if she hadn't once been a galactic fugitive. Zara remained quiet, but students respected her. Even the teachers noticed her sharp mind and unmatched focus. One even suggested she join the science club. She politely declined. One afternoon, Leo found Zara in the library, reading Earth's history. He sat beside her and asked, "Still trying to figure us out?" Zara looked up with a soft smile. "Your people are complicated," Leo chuckled. "You say that like it's a bad thing." She closed the book. "On my world, things were always clear. Win or lose, obey or defy. Here, things have colors, emotion, meaning." Leo looked at her, his voice softer now. "So ... what color is this moment?" Zara thought for a long second, then whispered, "Hope." Later that evening, all three stood atop the hill behind town, where they had first watched the stars. Nyx stretched out on the grass. "This planet's weird," she said, "but I kinda like it." Leo sat beside her, pointing at the constellations. "You see that one? That's Orion, warrior with a belt." Nyx grinned. "He looks like a confused dancer." Zara chuckled. "She's not wrong." Leo turned to them. "What will you do now? Will you ever go back?" Zara shook her head. "There's nothing to go back to. If we returned, we'd be prisoners or worse, but here, we have a chance to be something more." Nyx added, "We were soldiers. Now we can be sisters, maybe even heroes one day." Leo looked between them. "You already are." The wind picked up, brushing through the trees like a whisper. Zara turned to Leo. "You risked everything for us. Not just your life, but your world." Leo shrugged. "You made this world better just by being in it." Nyx jumped to her feet, arms wide. "Okay, enough emotions. Let's make a promise." Zara raised an eyebrow. "A promise?" Nyx grinned. "No matter what happens, council agents, space beasts, galactic warlords, we face it together. Agreed?" Leo stood up. "Agreed." Zara looked at both of them. Then finally, she placed her hand over theirs. Together. Months passed. The sisters moved into their own apartment. Leo helped them find part-time jobs, and they blended into Earth's rhythm quietly, carefully. Zara trained in martial arts. Nyx started making tech to help human hospitals. Leo got a scholarship to study space science, secretly inspired by them. They didn't forget the danger, but they stopped fearing it, because they weren't exiles anymore. They were choosing. Earth. And Earth had chosen them back. Some nights, Zara would look up at the stars and wonder if another watcher still hovered out there, waiting. Maybe the council hadn't given up. Maybe they were just silent, watching for another mistake. But Zara no longer felt like prey. She was something else now, someone stronger. Someone who had seen what love could do. In a small box under her bed, she kept the broken beacon, the one Leo had carried, burned in his hand. It was dead now, but to her, it glowed brighter than any star, because it reminded her of one simple truth. Exile brought them to Earth, but love made it home.